TV. This week in TV and series, we have confirmation that we have all been expecting from The Boys Season 5. We also have the Harry Potter Max series has taken a step forward as far as getting to production. And Hit Monkey Season 2 just launched a trailer that has a pretty notable change in it. So we're going to get to that in a little bit more. Let's get into TV. Hello, nerds. This is the weekly TV news show. Not like the evening news with Tom Brokaw. No, nothing like that. This has more to do with TV shows, nerdy-oriented TV shows, as well as episodic content that you will find on streaming platforms. If this is your kind of thing, then you can check out the full episode that I like to call The Week in Nerddom that covers all spectrum of pop culture and just generally nerdy things over on the main channel. You can find it linked down in the description or at the end of this video. All of that being said, let's talk about TV shows and nerdy stuff like that. Follow-ups is where most of TV is going to happen this week. We do have a couple trailers, but no regular ass news to talk about. So, follow-ups it is. First up, we have The Boys. Season 5, we have confirmation that there will be a Jared Padalecki role of some sort in season 5. So now we have a full-on Supernatural reunion going on because Eric Kripke did Supernatural, and we have Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who was their dad, who was the dad to the boys. We have Jensen Ackles playing Soldier Boy, and now we're going to get Jared Padalecki playing mysterious role. It has not been announced exactly who Padalecki will be playing, but when it does get announced, we will be talking about it. From there, let's move over to the Harry Potter series, the reboot series that is going to HBO Max, or Max, if you will. It just secured a showrunner and a director for a majority of the episodes. So the new showrunner and writer is going to be Francesca Gardiner, who you'll know her from Succession, also on Max, as well as His Dark Materials, also on Max. And then the director for multiple episodes, quote unquote, is going to be Mark Mylod, who also worked on Succession, also worked on Game of Thrones. So pretty great nerd credentials here. The Francesca is going to be showrunner and executive producer. I think Mylod is also going to be Mylod is also going to be an executive producer on the project. So pretty good hands at this point. We don't know much else as far as like how it is going to adapt the books just yet, so we'll be keeping tabs here. Moving from there though, let's get into trailers this week. This week's trailers, our first one is season 6, part 1 of Cobra Kai. Launch date is July 18th. This one is going to do a lot to get you hype for the first part of this season because it just looks that damn good. And then the other trailer that we have this week is Hit Monkey. Hit Monkey, if you remember, Hit Monkey released before the Fox buyout by Disney, before Disney bought all of the Fox IPs, before they bought Fox outright anyway, and inherited the IPs. So season 1 happened just before that did. So it was up in the air whether or not we're actually going to get a season 2 or how they're going to do a season 2, because Hit Monkey's kind of a violent show, kind of an adult animated show, if you will. So season 2 is going to be on Hulu, just like the previous season was. But season 2 now carries the Marvel Studios logo at the beginning of the credits, which means they're really expanding into some of this stuff that like the fans are really responding to, which is a good sign. It's not a definitive sign that they're doing great things, but it's a good sign that they are thinking of doing great things, at the very least. So, I mean, there are these little bits and pieces that give us hope. This is why we keep giving Marvel second and third and 10th chances. The release date for season 2, Hit Monkey, is July 15th. Go watch the trailer. It looks like a lot of fun. That's what we got for trailers. Like I said, no regular ass news this week to speak of, so let's get into suggestions for the week. And this week's suggestion TV, you probably saw this coming if you are a longtime viewer of the channel, but The Bear Season 3 has launched. FX, Hulu, whatever you gotta do to watch it. It is worth your time. Season 3, a little bit more so than Season 2 almost, but not as much as Season 1, is very much, if you work in the food industry, super stress-inducing. But also so representative. I mean, there's artistic license, sure. It's not quite as dramatic as they make it seem in this show. I've been doing it for 20 years. Like, I can see where somebody that has something to do with this, and if you look into the people who are producing and writing and so on and so forth, there are a lot of people involved here that have food experience, that have culinary experience. So that really, really shows. And then on top of that, it is also just exceptionally well done with the cinematography. Just like, this is art movie levels of cinematography. This is just like, the story is compelling, but it's also really great visually. Like, it's very appealing to the eyes. You don't need the sound on to get the gist of what's going on screen. Like, it is so well done on so many levels. And if I don't stop gushing now, I never will. So go watch The Bears season 3. That is your suggestion for TV this week. That brings us to the end of the video, nerds. Thank you very much for joining me for the news. Once again, there is a full and probably much more up-to-date and recent episode of the news, the full-length version, if you will, called The Week in Nerddom over on the main channel, linked down in the description, and probably link popping up somewhere around my face right about now. So click on that, go check that out as well, or if you prefer your news in more truncated pieces, then by all means just stick around here and go check out some of the other stuff we offer on this channel. Thank you very much for joining me. We will see you in the next one. Before we go, always remember, nerds, that if it is generally nerdy, it's probably here.